Welcome everybody to this chat show Face2Face. This is the second season, and today we are meeting in the third episode of this season. We started this program last year in 2020, and this is the second year. This whole idea came, in fact, during this pandemic and lockdown, since everybody was locked at home. Then we thought that we should establish some channel of communication with the students, and that is how this whole idea came of launching this program Face2Face. So before proceeding further, let me tell you something about the institute and the school. So this is a part of Delhi Metropolitan Education, which is a premier institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. We have three schools in DME. One is the media school, the other is management studies school, and the school of law. So there are four academic programs that we offer here. In media school, this is a BJMC, which is being offered. In management school, BBA, and in law, there are two programs, 5-year integrated programs. One is BA LLB and another is BBA LLB. So we are one of those institutions who have been living up to the aspirations of the students. We believe in the excellence of all education and delivery. And during this whole period of pandemic last year, we started with online education, and then we also started providing the students the pre-recorded study material, pre-recorded lectures, and that is how we always try to do something new, something out of the box. So let us know more about DME. In DME, we believe in engagement and empowerment of students. And since the time this COVID-19 struck in 2020, we intensified this whole process.
For the education sector, it was a big challenge. At DME, our small dynamic team decided to take this challenge head-on.
We organize different kind of programs, different webinars, wherein the distinguished people from the industry and other walks of life, they are invited to interact with the students. We try to keep them engaged in taking out newsletter, writing stories, editing stories, and not only that, they make posters, they make cartoons, they write pieces for the newsletter.
Mentoring Cell at DME is a very unique feature in the ecosystem of education. While the subject teachers forge the knowledge domain strongly, it is the mentors who reach out to students in difficult times. During pandemic, when our students faced loss of their loved ones, home isolation, and several other family issues, mentors ensured that students remain cheerful, lively, and stay connected with us.
We have ensured that our students are treated with compassion, warmth, and gentle touch. And it has been our endeavor to treat all the academic activities of our students, which includes PSDA, internal assignment, and various other curricular activities accordingly.
Research Cell also pays huge emphasis on interdisciplinary nature of research. In order to promote this, the research centers of the Research Cell were also motivated to join with each other and conduct research activities for students, faculties within DME and outside DME.
While the strong academics and great industry connect is building great lawyers, media persons, and managers at DME, we at Mentoring Cell are enabling these future leaders to be compassionate, emotionally strong, and resilient for any times to come.
We empower the students. All the schools of DME, they have their students' council. In DME Media School, this council is part. They organize the program themselves, they take their own decisions, and they mobilize the students for all the good cause.
Art has the power to unite and connect during the times of crisis. bringing people together, sharing, soothing and inspiring our powers of art, which have been made empathically obvious by the DME cultural societies during the COVID-19 pandemic. By taking different innovative approaches in organizing various virtual competitions and events in which the students of DME have taken part with great enthusiasm and proved that DMEians are unstoppable.
Care with compassion is motto of DME. During Corona period, we were always with our students. Their well-being is primary for us. We take care of our students.
We met the expectations of the students, of the parents and above all of the industry. The placements this year were better than those of the previous years. DME is committed to supporting its students in all possible ways.
Welcome back to Face to Face. Let me tell you something more about DME Media School. DME Media School, as I was telling you already, does such kind of things which are unthinkable. Like we have two flagship programs that we conduct every year. One is the International Conference ICANN, and the fourth edition of this conference we organized recently, only in the last month. And then we have the International Conference, International Film Festival rather, which is the CIFI, which happens every year in the month of December. Last year, the second edition happened, and now we are preparing for the third edition. Now, telling you something about this program, as I was referring about this already, this is a chat show. This is a different kind of program wherein the dean is interacting with a few students. These are the three students drawn from all 3 years. But due to this pandemic, the whole academic years are to some extent derailed, and that is how we have the final year batch which has actually passed out. They have appeared their examination, their result is not yet out, so we can call it the batch of 2018. And then there is another batch which is now entering in the 5th semester, which is 2019 batch, and the third batch is which joined the college in 2020, though they joined quite late because of this unparalleled situation in December only, and they will be moving to the third semester now. So let us know more about these three students who have joined in today's edition. Welcome back to the program Face to Face. Now everybody has seen who all are there with us today, but let me introduce also these three participants. The senior-most batch, from the senior-most batch, we have Manvi Shrivastava with us. She was there in the last season of Face to Face also. And then we have Shiv Dhawan, who is from 2019 batch. He was also there in the last season. And then we have with us Abhishek Bajaj, who is from the junior most batch. He joined the college in 2020. So let us begin our interaction for today. I will begin with the senior most person, as it has been customary in Face to Face. And my first question will be again in the backdrop of the situation which each of us are passing through. Since March 2020, this COVID-19 has struck, and we have been living most of the time in lockdown. Sometimes it appears that the things are improving. Then again, when the second wave came, we were again put in the lockdown. Now we hope that the situation will improve as the reports are coming. But then the danger of a third wave is looming large. But then in this situation, the studies have affected since the college is not opening for the students, so the face-to-face classes or the classes in the physical mode, these classes are not happening. At the same time, many of us have been affected by this situation in different ways. Each one of us is affected in a way, in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of finances. So I will firstly ask you, Manvi, how this COVID-19 has affected you, your family members, your relatives, your near and dears.
हेलो सर, गुड इवनिंग। तो थैंक यू मुझे इस चैट सेशन का सेकंड टाइम हिस्सा बनाने के लिए। आई थिंक मैंने ये चीज़ लास्ट ईयर बोली थी जब मैंने अपना चैनल पॉप्स एंड पटाखा स्टार्ट किया था कि सर मैंने ये नया चैनल शुरू करा है एंड मैं इस पे वर्क करूँगी। तब तक मैंने ये नहीं सोचा था कि मुझे मेरा करियर शायद ब्लॉगिंग और एडिटिंग में बनाना होगा। बट देन ऑफ कोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ BJMC जो मैंने कोर्स चूज़ करा उसकी वजह से मेरा इंटरेस्ट वीडियो एडिटिंग में आया एंड फाइनली मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि मुझे आगे लाइफ में ये करना है। एक टाइम था जब हम सोचते थे कि यार ये लॉकडाउन ने तो दुखी कर दिया है, बट नाउ इट्स लाइक हाँ इसकी आदत डल चुकी है और इसी तरीके से ही जीना है। तो अब नेगेटिव के बजाय पॉजिटिव चीज़ें देखने लग गए हैं और फैमिली बहुत सपोर्टिव है। मेरा भैया मतलब वो भी इवेंट्स लाइन में है तो उसके भी इवेंट्स स्टार्ट हो गए हैं थोड़े थोड़े एंड आई थिंक हम लोग घर में ही रह के घर में या थोड़ा बहुत बाहर चले जाते हैं। बट यस मतलब मैं व्लॉग करके अगर यहाँ जितने भी लोग हैं मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, पॉप्स एंड पटाखा वो देखें तो ऑफ कोर्स सबको आइडिया लगेगा कि मैं एक्चुअली घर में रह के
Manvi, my question was whether this pandemic situation affected you and your family in some way.
यस ऑफ कोर्स सर, मेरे को तो पॉजिटिव वे में ही अफेक्ट किया है बिकॉज मुझे बहुत सी चीज़ें जानने को मिली। मुझे इस लॉकडाउन में ही पता लगा कि मुझे वीडियो एडिटिंग करनी है। तब तक मुझे बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं था बिकॉज मैं डांस वगैरह वगैरह करती थी बट मेरे लेग में भी इंजरी हो गई थी तो मैंने डांस मॉडलिंग एकदम पॉज पे रख दिया था एंड मैंने वीडियो एडिटिंग स्टार्ट करी, वो भी बिकॉज ऑफ लॉकडाउन क्योंकि हमारा सब कुछ ऑनलाइन चल रहा था। मैं क्योंकि कल्चरल हेड हूँ मतलब कल्चरल हेड थी सॉरी स्टूडेंट कल्चरल हेड थी और फैशन और डांस सोसाइटी की कन्वीनर थी तो सारी वीडियोस बना के उनको एडिट करने का काम मेरे पास ही था और वही करते 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 मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कि कब मुझे ये चीज़ इतनी पसंद आने लगी कि अब मुझे इसी में कुछ करना है। तो ऑफ कोर्स पॉजिटिव वे में इफेक्ट करा है।
So this means you take this whole thing which has affected us as an opportunity, not as a disaster.
यस सर, मेरे लिए तो ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है। मैं नेगेटिव चीज़ें देखना छोड़ दिया, मैंने एकदम पॉजिटिविटी पे ध्यान।
Okay, so moving on, Shiv, I would ask you the same question, whether this whole pandemic has affected you or anybody who is close to you in any adverse way in terms of health or on any other count.
Oh, first of all, good evening, sir. Good evening to everyone who is here today. Not in a very adverse way, I must say, but all of my family members except me had tested positive for the coronavirus, the pandemic that is going on. But at the end of the day, I think everything depends on your perception, on your perspective, how you take things. I remember last year I was in Himachal when this pandemic struck, and I was in Himachal for cricket. I was there for the India versus South Africa series that was happening. And I remember the series suddenly getting cancelled, and that was my cue. Okay, this is something serious. What do we do now? Then the subsequent lockdown followed, and I wondered what to do. There's so much happening around. There's so much negativity that is there in the air. And the first thing that I did, although it will sound very weird when I say this, because as a media student, I should not say this, but the first thing that I did was turn off my social media and turn off all the media channels, because, you know, that is where the negativity is coming from. Although that's only news, but that is negative. So the first thing I did was that, and then, yeah, obviously it was affecting everyone. it was affecting mental health of the people that I'm close to, affected my mental health as well. But then at the end of the day, I have some people who are really, really close to me who help me to go through every day. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, even our prime minister said आपदा को अवसर में बदलो, तो बदला अवसर में, the opportunity was there. And yeah, so a book, I have written a book, as it was mentioned in the preview video. I've started my own company which I started back in the month of January. So yes, there was opportunity, but there was gloom as well. And you cannot neglect the fact that there was negativity around. And I honestly, very honestly speaking, I did do a few things during this pandemic, but then again, I do not call it an opportunity because people have lost their lives. And my heart goes out to everyone who has lost their lives. But yeah, it did affect. But at the end of the day, it's a perspective, it's a perception.
So thank you, Shiv. Now moving on to Abhishek. Abhishek, how do you look at this situation? And it's not simply the question of perception. It's also not question as to, how do you look at this whole situation personally? But I would like to know on the ground whether it affected you, your family members and all. And if yes, how did you handle this kind of situation?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, इस चीज़ को सर मैं एक ऐसे परसेप्शन से लेना चाहूँगा कि एक स्टूडेंट के लिए जो कि एक 18 से 19 साल की उम्र का है, वो ज़रूर अपनी कॉलेज लाइफ को एक ड्रीम की तरह देखता है कि मैं जैसे ही 18 से 19 साल की उम्र में आऊँगा तो एक अच्छे कॉलेज में लेके एडमिशन लेके एक फ़न लाइफ जीऊँगा। ड्यू टू दिस पैंडमिक सर वो सारे ड्रीम्स एक तरह से ख़त्म हो चुके हैं। रही बात सर इस चीज़ की, लॉकडाउन में मैंने कैसे पर्सनली ये चीज़ मुझे इफेक्ट करी है, आई टेक इट एज अ अपॉर्चुनिटी। सर ऑफ कोर्स मैंने अपनी लिमिट्स को पुश करना सीखा। मैंने काफ़ी चीज़ों में अपने आप को इन्हांस किया, अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर करना चाहा। मैंने सोचा कि अपने स्पीकिंग स्किल्स को इम्प्रूव करना चाहूँगा, कुछ चीज़ को, हॉबीज़ को अपना टाइम देना चाहूँगा। बिल्कुल ये था कि टाइम वेस्ट तो बिल्कुल नहीं करना है। ऑफ कोर्स सर फैमिली पे काफ़ी इम्पैक्ट भी आया, कोविड की प्रॉब्लम सबको होने लगी। आसपास का जो इन्वायरमेंट था वो सारा इसी चीज़ में जाता रहा कि कभी इसको कोविड हो गया, कभी उसको हो गया, कभी इसी की डेथ, तो काफ़ी नेगेटिव में जा रहा था। लेकिन सर अगर हम हर चीज़ को नेगेटिव लेंगे तो सर ऑब्वियस ही बात है, डीएमई ने आपने एक चीज़ समझाई है कि इस चीज़ को हम एक अपॉर्चुनिटी लेनी चाहिए। अपनी चीज़ को फॉलो, अपने पैशन को फॉलो करो, जो कि आपको आगे आपकी सक्सेस में हेल्प करेगा।
Good sign. All the three students, all three batches, they are of the opinion that this was an opportunity and they were able to explore something new in their life, taking advantage of this situation. Obviously, there is nothing can be great than the positivity. Then moving on to Manvi, to you again. As you were telling us something as to how did you explore yourself, because you have been an artist, you have been a dancer, and you have been so active in different activities in DME. But then you said that you stopped that and you explored something new. Can you elaborate on this, all new things you did, and why did you decide to dump all that which you were doing already?
So, सर मेरे लेफ्ट नी में इंजरी हो गई थी डांस करते वक्त ही, कॉलेज में ही, जो कुछ टाइम बाद ठीक हो गई थी, बट लास्ट नवंबर में दोबारा रिक्रिएट हुई एंड काफ़ी सीरियस कंडीशन थी मेरे लेग की। मैं 5 मंथ्स बेड रेस्ट पे थी और उस 5 मंथ्स के बेड रेस्ट में मैं ना डांस कर सकती थी ना मॉडलिंग कर सकती थी, बट सिर्फ बेड पे रहना था। एंड कॉलेज तो तब भी चल ही रहा था। तब रियलाइज़ हुआ कि अब कुछ और करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज़ ये ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है जो 2 दिन में ठीक हो जाएगी। तब क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स हम वीडियोस बनाते थे, डांस की सब लोग बनाते थे तो उनकी एडिट मैं करती थी, फैशन की वीडियोस एडिट मैं करती थी, तो एडिटिंग में इंटरेस्ट आने लगा, प्रीमियर प्रो पे इंटरेस्ट आने लगा कि हाँ मुझे इस पे एडिटिंग सीखनी है, इस पे करना है। मैं लिटरली और कुछ नहीं करती थी बट सिर्फ वीडियोस एडिट करती थी। तो धीरे धीरे कब इंटरेस्ट बनने लगा वो मुझे भी नहीं पता लगा, बट देन मेरे दोस्त भी बोलने लगे यार हमारी ये वीडियो एडिट कर दे। तो करते 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 मेरा वीडियो एडिटिंग में इतना इंटरेस्ट बन गया कि मैं लिटरली सुबह शाम वीडियो एडिट करती हूँ और मुझे मजा आता है।
No, but then would you like to make it a career? I mean, if you are
Yes, sir.
finding it,
Of course.
You will take it as a career.
बिल्कुल सर.
Career means, I mean, what you will be doing. I mean, this editing the videos and all, that is one thing. But then what more you are planning to do if you are taking it up as a career?
सो सर मैंने ये सोचा था कि मुझे क्योंकि व्लॉगिंग करनी पसंद है, मुझे कैमरा फेस करना अच्छा लगता है, तो मैं व्लॉगिंग करूँगी एंड वीडियो एडिटिंग भी मैं अपनी खुद की वीडियोस एडिट करूँगी. बट देन बिफोर दैट मुझे और चीज़ें एक्सप्लोर करनी पड़ेंगी. मुझे समझना पड़ेगा कि वीडियो एडिटिंग खेल नहीं है. मुझे अच्छे से सीखना पड़ेगा, अलग-अलग लोगों के अंडर काम करना पड़ेगा. तो मैंने यही सोचा हुआ है कि आई नो फॉर द फैक्ट कि ये इंजरी मुझे इतनी जल्दी ठीक नहीं करेगी और मैं इतनी जल्दी डांस नहीं कर सकती. आई एक्सेप्ट द फैक्ट. तो मुझे कहीं न कहीं और चीज़ पे फ़ोकस करना पड़ेगा. मैं ऐसे बैठ नहीं सकती कि जब पैर ठीक होगा तभी डांस करूँगी. तो मैंने ये सोचा हुआ है कि मुझे अभी लैपटॉप खरीदना है नया, तो मैं लैपटॉप खरीदूँगी एंड मैं मुंबई में हूँ अभी इस टाइम और मेरी सिस्टर भी वीडियो एडिटिंग करती है एक एनजीओ के लिए. तो मैं उसी के साथ कुछ टाइम बाद उसके साथ ही करूँगी एंड कोशिश रहेगी कि मैं एक अच्छी वीडियो एडिटर बन जाऊँ और अभी सीखूँगी, अभी लर्न करूँगी और फिर एक टाइम के बाद एक फ्यूचर के लिए जो सोचा हुआ है कि हाँ, व्लॉगिंग एंड देन माय ओन बिज़नेस, मेरा खुद के वीडियोज़, मेरी खुद की एडिटिंग, मेरा खुद का काम, ये सोचा है.
So you want to become an entrepreneur in that way?
काइंड ऑफ कह सकते हैं.
Okay. So what kind of company you intend to set up?
सर कंपनी भी नहीं, बट देन ये कह सकते हैं कि जब मैं अपने आप को 5 साल बाद ऐसा देखती हूँ कि मैं एक 2 मिलियन 3 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स की एक व्लॉगर हूँ और वो मेरा एक खुद का चैनल है, मेरे खुद की टीम होगी, मेरी खुद की वीडियोस होंगी, मैं खुद वीडियोस एडिट करूँगी बिकॉज़ मुझे वो करना पसंद है. तो बस यही है दिमाग में.
So on what, I mean, what could be the possible theme, or if you are already blogging, on what you prefer to writing basically?
सर व्लॉगिंग में अभी तक तो मैं सिर्फ एंटरटेनमेंट पर्पस से जा रही थी, बट देन आई एम स्टिल ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द मोस्ट स्पेशल थिंग इन मी, द मोस्ट क्या कह सकते हैं, एक वो बेस्ट क्वालिटी जो मेरे अंदर है, जिससे मैं अभी भी उस चीज़ को फाइंड कर रही हूँ. कहीं ना कहीं उस चीज़ को अभी मैं ढूंढ रही हूँ. जिस दिन ढूंढ लूंगी उस दिन एक प्रॉपर थीम पे मैं फोकस करूंगी.
Okay, so moving on to Shiv. Shiv, since you are into so many things and obviously your passion is sports and anything which is related to sports and writing and all. So can you tell us something more, what all you have been doing for the last 1.5 year? And I mean, how did you do that and where your whole journey is leading to?
Sir, where my whole journey is leading to, I have no idea. Every morning that I wake up, I think I am the best at what I do, and I'll continue believing so. Although I might sound arrogant to a lot of people, but that's not true. I have to believe that I am the best at whatever I do. Talking about doing different things, doing separate things. So I remember during the lockdown last year, I was getting bored. It was April, and April is usually the time when the Indian Premier League happens, and it was not happening. And I thought to myself, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to pass my time? So there you go. I started with this interview series on my Instagram, this Instagram live series, which eventually had 25 episodes, including with people like Sri Sant. When I started, I had not thought that I would get 25 people to do an episode with me. I had not thought of that. And before that, I had only been writing and only been doing interviews. After that, I started for a couple of months, I started building up for the Olympics with a couple of websites. I did some interviews, Olympic interviews. I did an interview with Bajrang Punia, one name that is popular in India at the moment. So I was interviewing all these guys. And during that phase, cricketers were sitting at home. Cricketers were not getting paid. The cricketers who feature in Ranji Trophy, the cricketers who feature in domestic cricket. And I thought to myself, okay, what can I do for them? Then this thought came, there are many management companies. There are big management companies. There are companies that manage the Virat Kohlis and the KL Rahuls, but who manages these guys? Nobody. Okay, nobody even looks at them. So I thought, okay, a sports management company is something that I wanted to start at 25. Why not start it right now? Why not focus on these guys who nobody focuses on? Okay, we are not making profits. Who cares? At least we are helping those people. back in October last year, I received this call from a person in Rajasthan. He was sending me his videos on WhatsApp. This is the first time that I'm telling this to anyone. He was sending me videos of his bowling on WhatsApp, and he said that I need guidance. I need something. I need to play cricket. I want to play cricket. My family is not supporting me. I don't have money. And I was like, okay, he's bowling well. He does not have any guidance as of now. I called him up. I asked him for his details. I took all the details, and it was a long procedure. It was a 1 month procedure. And finally went to an academy. I asked one of my cricketers to send him a kit. And he finally started playing at an academy. I spoke to the coach. The coach said, okay, I'll try him out. And you don't need to pay the fees for the first few months. And I was like, okay, let's see what he does. He calls me 5 days later कि भैया मैं सुबह 5:30 उठ के I go to this academy, I'm practicing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And that made me happy. I realized I don't care doing these interviews. I don't care what happens. I don't care about anything. I just care about people playing cricket. I just care about people in India taking up sports. That is when Square the One Private Limited was initiated. And that is what I had been doing for the past 1.5 years. Then came the book, Making of the Champions, the India Under-19 story. Again, something that I wanted to do. I've always wanted to write a book. Then I thought to myself, what should I write? What should youngsters read? People who want to take up the sport, people who want to play cricket. And there came this book. It's a book where I have told how you take up the game, how these cricketers step on the stone, how they go about their journeys. So basically, a person playing cricket, a 12-year-old boy playing cricket, sitting in his home. I'm not discriminating in terms of gender. A child, 12 years old child playing cricket, he should be able to imagine, he should be able to visualize, okay, this is what I have to do for the next 20 years of my life. That is where the idea of the book came. I just want to do something for sport in India, nothing else.
Okay. So good. I mean, you utilized your time in a big way. Otherwise, also, I believe that is whatever is your passion, you were always wanting to pursue that. Now, moving on to Abhishek. Abhishek, can you tell us as to what all you have been doing for the last 1.5 years? Obviously, you must be attending your classes, you would have appeared in your exam and all, but beyond that, in what all you were busy and what was your output in terms of learning some new things or doing certain such things which you always wanted to do? Can you elaborate on this?
Yes, of course, sir. सर मेरा बचपन से लाइक 8 to 9th स्टैंडर्ड के बाद से ना मेरे एक चीज़ अपने माइंड में सेटअप करनी शुरू करी जब मैं स्कूल के इवेंट्स के साथ में कुछ अच्छा खासा ऑर्गेनाइज करने लगा। जब वहाँ पे एंकरिंग के लिए भी मैं गया, कुछ मेरे को लगा कि अपने माइंड में चीज़ बनाई कि मेरे को स्पीकिंग में अपना कुछ करना है जिससे कि मेरी एक चीज़ जो है एक्सप्लोर करें, मैं एनहांस करूँ। और बात करते हैं जो हमारा पैंडेमिक का जो हमारा पीरियड रहा सर, उसके बीच में मैंने सबसे ज़्यादा सोशलाइजिंग पे वर्क करा। एक डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिला मुझे जिससे मेरे को काफ़ी हेल्प मिली कि लोगों के साथ बात करी जाए, उनके माइंडसेट के बारे में जाना जाए कि वो क्या सोच रहे हैं इस वक्त। उस चीज़ को सर मैंने एनहांस करा और बीइंग अ पार्ट टाइम जॉब सर मैंने एक होम ट्यूटर की जॉब के लिए भी अप्लाई करा, जो कि मुझे छोटी छोटी चीज़ों पे एक अच्छा अपना खासा मेरे को मिल रहा था कि मैं उनको चीज़ें जाके समझा सकूं, अपने थॉट्स उनके आगे रख सकूं। तो ऐसी चीज़ें करके मैंने अपने आप को पुश करा कि हाँ, जो एज में लोग जो है अपने फ़न के लिए टाइम निकालना चाहते हैं, मैं उन चीज़ को अपना यूटिलाइज़ करूँ। तो इसको अपॉर्चुनिटी ही कह सकते हैं कि अपने आप को पॉलिश करना चाहूँ। तो ये चीज़ से मैंने इसको कंप्लीट करा।
Good. So moving on to Manvi again. Manvi, you told us in detail about your shift of interest, which was in a way under compulsion to editing. But then since you have been doing editing now for quite some time and for future also you want to pursue your career in editing. So what thing which is which has attracted you towards editing? Any such thing which you likes the most in editing?
सर आई थिंक क्रिएटिविटी बहुत ज़्यादा क्रिएटिव होती है। आई थिंक अभी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग जिस हिसाब से ग्रो कर रहा है, वीडियो एडिटिंग ऐसी चीज़ है जहाँ पे सभी लोगों को, चाहे उनका इंस्टाग्राम पेज हो, कोई किसी भी कंपनी का इंस्टाग्राम पेज, फेसबुक पेज, उन लोगों को अपनी वीडियोस बनाने के लिए, उन वीडियोस को एडिट करने के लिए वो क्रिएटिविटी चाहिए होगी है। तो आई थिंक वो क्रिएटिव पार्ट मुझे लगता है मेरे अंदर है बचपन से, तो मुझे लगता है कि हाँ, उसने मुझे अट्रैक्ट करा।
So Shiv, what do you like the most in writing? Because you are mostly now into writing. Obviously, at the same time, you're writing on sports and particularly cricket. But what do you like the most? If I ask you about both the things, what do you like the most in cricket? That is how you are choosing this as your major career. And since you are into writing, what do you like the most in writing?
Oh, so it's a question that is very tough to answer because a couple of days back I was writing an article for my school magazine in the alumni section, and I wrote an article which was titled "I am not a writer," because I'm not. I'm a person who wants to convey his feelings, wants to convey what he feels for the sport, and I just write about that. The best thing about what I write is people tell me we like the way you write, we like the way you make up stories. Because that is what I want to do. I don't want to think of myself as a writer. I want to think of myself as a storyteller. Writing is just my way of telling that story. And I think I don't have a better way because I think I have a way with words. I think I know what will hit with the public, what will hit with my readers, what will hit with the audience. And that is something that attracts me about writing. It's not something, uh, it's not as if I'm a writer, but I know what the readers want to read.
Okay. So Abhishek, what will you tell us? You said that you were busy for the last 1.5 years in socializing and all. But then what did you like the most, whether you call it socializing or social networking or whichever way you interpret it, whatever you have been doing, what was that most interesting element in that?
सर, जो सबसे ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग एलिमेंट जो इसमें रहा है, जो कि सबको अट्रैक्ट करता है, सर वो ये होता है कि एक नेगेटिव टाइम में भी आके लोग जो है अपने पॉजिटिव चीज़ों को कैसे फेस करते हैं। लाइक एक किसी की घर में किसी की डेथ हो गई हो, लेकिन वो अभी भी अपनी जॉब पे ले जा रहा है, वो अपनी लिविंग के लिए वर्क कर रहा है। एक हार्ड वर्किंग नेचर जो था सर, वो एक जेन्युइन चीज़ को फेस करने के लिए हमारे को हेल्प करता है। तो मैंने इसी चीज़ से ज़्यादा अपने आप को सीखने की कोशिश करी कि हाँ, ये चीज़ एक अच्छी चीज़ है, तो इसको उठा लेना चाहिए, उसको ग्रैब कर लेना चाहिए। सो सर ऐसे ही मैं कहना चाहूँगा।
Okay, good. So moving on again to Manvi. Manvi, if I ask you, I mean, a very, very conventional question that last time also I was asking about your career, not only, not about your career only, but your passion, your inclinations, and also, and we all know that you love dancing. But then there is a common point in the career of some people wherein whatever their interests are, and they try to link it up with their career and whatever they might be doing in their career or in their future course. So how do you interpret your passion as such?
सर, डांस तो ऐसी चीज़ है जो मैं शायद कभी नहीं छोड़ पाऊँगी। पैर पैर में लगी हुई है, लेकिन गाने अभी भी चलेंगे तो मैं बैठे-बैठे नाचूँगी। तो ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि शायद जिस दिन मैं ठीक हुई, जिस दिन डॉक्टर ने बोला दैट नाउ यू कैन डांस, डांस इज़ माय हॉबी, डांस बचपन से पसंद है, तो डांस तो मैं करूँगी, डांस तो नहीं छोड़ने वाली। ये ज़रूर हो सकता है कि शायद डांस की वीडियोज़ बना के वो भी एडिट करके अपलोड करूँ। तो ये चीज़ है। बट अगर मुझे राइट नाउ इफ़ यू आस्क मी कि मुझे क्या चूज़ करना है, डांस या वीडियो एडिटिंग में से, राइट नाउ क्या, अगर आगे भी मैंने ये क्लियर कर लिया अपने दिमाग में, अपने आप को समझा लिया है कि मुझे अगर एक करियर चूज़ करना है तो मैं वीडियो एडिटिंग में चूज़ करूँगी।
So moving on to you, Shiv, what can you tell us about your passion, your inclination, or your some such interest which is purely creative interest and which is somewhere distinct from what you are doing?
Oh, that's a bouncer because I do not know what my creative interest is. I do write poems. Like this is something I believe. You know, there are days when you are off, and you just sit with a pen and paper. You do not sit with a laptop and the word file. You just sit with a pen and paper at 3 a.m. in the night, at 4 a.m. in the morning, and you just write. That is what I do. And yeah, I don't have a creative inclination, but there are days when you need to have time for yourself, and I'm no different. I have my off days, and yeah, this is something I have not shared with the world. I don't want to share with anyone. This is just something that is my own. It will stay my own, and I think everyone should have this creative space for themselves, creative liberty for themselves, where they are not doing anything. They are doing a certain thing. They are doing a particular thing, but they are keeping it to themselves. I have such poems. I have such write-ups which I do not intend to show or publish, and that is what I do for creative purposes. I'm not a very creative person apart from that.
But still, if you can, I mean, if there is anything which which is you don't feel it should remain confined to your personal space, any such thing which you can make public, share with others, if there is any such thing you can share with us.
Sir, maybe in a few years, I believe, there are things, first become rich, then become a philosopher. I have not attained a certain level to share a lot of things that I write. Maybe in a few years, definitely, when people actually want to listen to those things, definitely.
Fine. So, Abhishek, what will you say on this question? What are your interests or your inclinations, your passion, which you pursue on the creative side?
Yeah, of course, sir. So talking about my creativity, sir, इस चीज़ को मैंने एनहांस इस तरीके से किया, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि मैंने डिफरेंट लोगों से डील करना से सीखा। हिंदी भवन के काफ़ी इवेंट्स होया करते हैं जिसके बारे में डिबेट्स होते हैं, काफ़ी ग्रुप डिस्कशंस भी होते हैं। उनके साथ बैठ के सर एक सीनियर लोगों के साथ में पता लगा कि उन लोगों का कैसा लाइफस्टाइल रहता है, क्या वो कैसी बातें करते हैं। तो वो चीज़ें अपने एक लाइफ को एक अच्छे मोटिव को अचीव करने में हमारे को हेल्प करती हैं। रही बात सर क्रिएटिविटी की, सर मैंने अपने कज़न के साथ में व्लॉगिंग चैनल था उसको ज्वाइन करा, जहाँ पे मेरे को थोड़ा बहुत बोलने का भी लगा कि हाँ एक अच्छा प्रेजेंटर बन सकते हैं। साथ ही साथ सर मैंने एक अच्छे खासे एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थी, एक स्टूडियो था, जहाँ पे उन्होंने मुझे काफ़ी ऐड के लिए भी अपना अपील करा है कि चलो आप ऐड में भी आ सकते हैं। उसके लिए वहाँ पे हमने कुछ बोला भी, छोटी मोटी ऐड हो गई थी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी। तो वो चीज़ मेरे को एक थोड़ा सा लगा कि हाँ ये चीज़ काफ़ी क्रिएटिव जा रही है, तो मेरे को इसमें भी और करना चाहिए। So that's...
Anything that you can can present for us, any performance or anything that you can read for us,
Yeah.
anything that you would have written, is there anything that you can share?
यस सर, ऑफ कोर्स सर, मैंने ऋचा जैन कालरा मैम के एक ABEC की जो एंकरिंग की बुक है, उससे एक अच्छा खासा मैंने कंटेंट को जनरेट करा, जिससे कि मैं एंकरिंग के लिए ज़्यादा अपील कर सकूँ, जिससे ज़्यादा पॉलिश हो सके मेरी स्किल्स। तो उसी को लेके मैंने एक सिंपल सी ऐड के लिए शूट करा था, जो कि इतना सा था कि डैड मुझे अपने करियर के लिए इतनी चीज़ें पैसे चाहिए, तो क्या आप दे पाएंगे? तो डैड काफ़ी इमोशनल होते, कोविड की वजह से उनके फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज जो सबके साथ हो रहे थे। तो उन्होंने उस बच्चे को जो कि अच्छे खासा पढ़ा लिखा था, उसको एक ऐसी जगह पे अप्लाई करवाया, जैसे कि एक झाड़ू पोछा करने के लिए होता है, एक सर्वेंट के लिए, एक पियन के लिए वहाँ पे अप्लाई कराया, जो कि काफ़ी इमोशनल हो रहा था। तो उस चीज़ को डायरेक्ट करने में मैंने वहाँ पे उनका एक रोल प्ले करा था। तो ये करके सर मैंने इसमें मेरा पार्ट रहा है।
So, can you present it here?
नॉट एग्जैक्टली सर, क्योंकि वो एक स्पेसिफिक वीडियो थी जो कि काफ़ी ग्रुप के साथ, टीम के साथ ही हो सकती है।
That's okay. So moving on, Shiv, any final thing, any final statement, any final expression that you would like to make in this program?
Sir, no final statements, just glad to be here. Wonderful DME has provided us with a wonderful platform. And, I often appreciate our college, our faculty and our professors, although we did not talk about that in the program. But yeah, whoever comes to the college, whoever our juniors are, I often appreciate the faculty. I often appreciate what you bring as a person, your concepts, whatever programs that you do. And I think it's fantastic the way our college is going, the way our college is providing all these facilities, platforms to these juniors, these people, everyone who is coming into the college. And I hope we continue to do so.
So you might be missing the college.
Sir, if I say yes, then it would be controversial, because had I been missing the college, I would not have started everything. Like if there would have been regular classes, nothing would have started in the first place. I am missing college, but I'm not missing classes. I'm missing the overall atmosphere and the environment of the college.
So Abhishek, what will you say finally? And if I link it up what Shiv was telling us, and obviously you are in the first year, you have never seen the college the way anybody would aspire, as you already mentioned in the beginning. So you, I believe, would have been missing the college in any case. And are you looking for the regular classes to happen? What all you are waiting for, if you can tell us?
सर ऑब्वियसली सर, हम एक एक्सपेक्ट ही कर सकते हैं कि क्या हमारी लाइफ कैसे होने वाली है, कैसा एटमॉस्फेयर होता है। सर क्लासेस की बात करें, क्लासेस तो रेगुलर हैं। DME ने अच्छा खासा टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ काफ़ी अच्छा कोप अप किया है, जो कि क्लासेस हमारे को रेगुलर मिल रही हैं, अटेंड कर पा रहे हैं। बट सर एक ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट होता है, एक ऐसा एटमॉस्फेयर होता है, वो हमारे को बस उसी की कमी है जिसको है। तो सर होप करते हैं कि जैसे जल्दी जो सिचुएशन है काफ़ी अच्छी हैंडल हो सके, जिससे कि कॉलेज वगैरह सब खुल जाए, तो हम उस चीज़ को आगे एंजॉय कर सकें।
तो
और
आई
सबका
मीन जब से
experience
तुमने ज्वाइन किया है, इट इज ऑलवेज द ऑनलाइन क्लासेस, एंड इफ सून इट हैपेंस एज वी ऑल विश टू हैपन, रेगुलर क्लासेस शुरू होती हैं, एंड देन इफ यू आर आस्क्ड टू मेक ए कंपैरिजन बिटवीन ऑनलाइन क्लासेस एंड द ऑफलाइन क्लासेस, व्हाट वुड यू से?
सर, ऑफलाइन क्लासेस और ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में कंपैरिजन किया जाए, सर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस आपको डिजिटली काफ़ी हेल्प कर देंगी, बट सर ऑफलाइन क्लासेस में आपको जो एक्सपीरियंस मिल सकता है, जो स्टूडेंट के फेशियल बिहेवियर, जो एक्सप्रेशंस होते हैं, सर वो एक आपको समझ में आएगा कि कैसा क्या बच्चा समझ भी पा रहा है, क्या वो इन्वायरमेंट में रहकर वो अपने आप को डील कर पा रहा है उस सिचुएशन के साथ। ऑनलाइन में सर आप अगर कैमरा ऑफ के साथ हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तो बच्चे का इंट्रैक्शन, जो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस होती हैं वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती हैं, बट जब एक फेस टू फेस रहता है तो सर वो ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस बेटर रहता है, मेरा ये मानना है।
Okay, so moving on to Manvi again. Manvi, since you are almost passed out, uh, obviously whatever happened, whether online or in the physical mode, you have experienced both almost in equal proportion. And for the last more than a year, you people, I mean your batch has been having everything online, and now there will be no possibility like the first year student, then you will be hoping to join the classes again. So what in such a situation when you are already a graduate in journalism and mass communication, any final thing, any final statement that you would like to make in this program?
सर मैं तो क्योंकि ये लोग फर्स्ट सेकंड ईयर में, तो शायद इन लोगों का एक्सपीरियंस इतना नहीं है, बट मैं क्लासेस से लेकर मेरी डांस परफॉर्मेंस, स्टेज परफॉर्मेंस तक सब मिस करूँगी, एवरीथिंग, एवरी लिटिल थिंग। और आई थिंक कोविड ने कॉलेज लाइफ ख़राब कर दी, ये तो है, ये बात तो मैं एग्री करूँगी। बट आई एम हैप्पी कि एक लास्ट परफॉर्मेंस मैंने यहाँ पे कर ही ली, सो आई एम हैप्पी। एंड यस, आई विल मिस एवरी लिटिल थिंग, क्लासेस से लेके मैम के डांटने से लेके एवरीथिंग, सब कुछ मिस करूँगी मैं बहुत।
So now we move to the conclusion of the program, and we discussed a lot of things, right from the passion to the career and this offline versus online. But one thing remains the same. One thing was common in response to all the people who joined in this program, that everybody is feeling positive. Everybody has a zeal and spirit to do something good for himself or herself and for the society. And this is the final thing. I think nothing can be better than this. If there are bad times, there will always be the good times. And the only thing which has to be there, which is expected from each one of us, then we have to make the use of whatever circumstances we are having. And जैसा कि शिव ने कहा, and our Prime Minister also says this, कि आपदा को अवसर में बदलने की बात है. We all should try to do that way, to do something good in our life for some good cause. And that is where we finish this episode of Face to Face.